It's time for NASCAR racing this week. Hello everyone, welcome to episode 7 of NASCAR Racing This Week. I'm your host, Bryce Turner. Don't forget, you can find the latest news, stats, and more during NASCAR's playoffs on the Chase M5, premiering September 12th on NASCAR M5. Now in the news, the silly season is going wild. It was announced yesterday that Kurt Busch will drive a 4-car team full-time for Stewart-Haas Racing next year. The 00 Chevy will be sponsored by Haas. This came after Ryan Newman was told there was no room for him or a fourth team at SHR next season. So with Kurt Busch to a new team, what else do we have? Kevin Harvick will drive the number 4 for SHR, which was formerly the number 39 at that team. The number 29 car then remains open, with Ryan Newman rumored as the leading candidate for that ride. RCR may add a fourth team with the number 3 for Austin Dillon next season. With Kurt's departure, the Furniture Row Racing number 78 is up for grabs. Also, the number 42 and number 51 don't have any drivers signed on just yet. And on top of that, there are a handful of drivers whose contracts have not yet been renewed. Stay tuned for the latest on the 2013-2014 silly season. ESPN and TNT want to exit NASCAR earlier than their contract's term. The networks are signed to carry NASCAR races until the end of next year, but say they want out after this year. With that, NBC and Fox would be willing to start their 2015 contract a year early, and now NASCAR will have to make its decision. Stay tuned for the latest on this developing story. There will be a Jason Leffler Memorial Race tonight at Wayne County Speedway. Most proceeds from gate entrance for the midget race will go to the Charlie Dean Leffler Discretionary Fund. The race will start at 7 p.m. Eastern Time at the Wayne City, Illinois track. Juan Pablo Montoya will be one of the honorees for the Hispanic Heritage Awards. The award ceremony will take place September 15th, starting at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, with coverage airing on Mundo Fox. Get the latest news and information on charities and charity events related to the sport on Making a Difference NASCAR Style, premiering September 12th on NASCAR 5. Stay tuned, I'll review a few NASCAR books coming up, but first the race review. Race review cautions. Race review lap leaders. Irwin Tools Night Race winner Matt Kenseth. Whether you're fond of reading or not, if you're a NASCAR fan, you may just love to read NASCAR books. From stories and bibliographies about tracks, drivers, teams, or the sport itself, to countdown books jam-packed with interesting stories. If you're a NASCAR fan, whether a reader or not, you should give a NASCAR book a try. I myself have read a few NASCAR books, and today on the Feature Report, I'll tell you about 4 of them. First up, Sundays Will Never Be the Same, a bibliography with Darrell Waltrip. DW shares his stories about his troublemaking times growing up in Owensboro, Kentucky, where he met who would eventually be his wife. DW also talks about making it to the big leagues of NASCAR, his career in the Cup Series with some funny stories along the way, his retirement, and finally Dale Earnhardt Sr.'s death from his vantage point as a TV commentator for that race. Now, a somewhat similar book by his brother Michael Waltrip. Michael talks about his desire to be a NASCAR driver, like his brother, while he was growing up. He also talks about making it to the Cup Series, his life away from the track, and his breakout win in the 2001 Daytona 500, and how the joy was taken away by Dale's death. Michael also talks about starting his own team, MWR. Another bibliography now, Jeff Gordon talks about racing from BMX as a kid to sprint cars as a teen. He also talks about his move from Vallejo, California, where he was born, to Pittsboro, Indiana, where he grew up. Jeff talks about making it to the Cup Series, people who have helped him, from Mr. Hendrick and Ray Evernham to his stepfather John Bickford. Jeff also talks about the ups and downs of his career and personal life up until 2003 when this book was published. And if bibliographies aren't your thing, the book I'm currently reading is Trading Paint, 101 Great NASCAR Debates, from the best driver never to win a cup race to the worst tracks to drive into and out of. This countdown-style book lists the author's opinions on many popular NASCAR debates. Whether you read these or other NASCAR books, or don't read any at all, I hope you enjoyed this feature report. Coming up next, the latest standings from the Cup, Nationwide, and Truck Series. The latest on NASCAR-related charities on Making a Difference NASCAR Style, premiering September 12th on NASCAR 5. The latest news, stats, and more during NASCAR's playoffs. The Chase and 5 coming September 12th to NASCAR 5. Jimmy Johnson is leading in the Sprint Cup points standings. Martin Truex Jr. and Ryan Newman hold the wildcard positions at this time. Sam Hornish Jr. is atop the nationwide points standings. And Matt Crafton is leading in the Trucks points race. Next races, Cup and Nationwide head to Atlanta, while the Trucks visit Canada.